Hello, Space Engineers. Welcome back. We're back up here at the top of the station, and I've done a little bit of work off camera, and we're kind of approaching the end of this project, or at least what I'm going to call the end. There's more that could be done, but honestly, I think it's time to get close to wrap this up and move on. But there is still some stuff that I feel like needs to be done. So let me get in control here. I'll go ahead and switch to that. But finished up a little bit of a dock here. This isn't much, but it gives, there's something here. We can add a few little things over here. And over here for the maintenance area, all it did was do a simple manual airlock. And I have not added any lights into there yet. I probably should. But there's no lights in there. There's no reactor there either, so I might add that still. But beyond that, I haven't done a whole lot. Let's see if we can't see in here a bit. Yeah, we can see in here a bit. I went ahead and replaced all those small grid seats with couches. Those small grid seats, if you remember, they kind of phased into the blocks and causing some issues. But that is now corrected. I did that instead of the small grid seats. We still got these up here. This didn't change any. But what we're going to be working on is I kind of need to find a way to see if I can't get this to park, this carriage, to come up here and park automatically, well, as fully automatic as I can. If I'm going to be using this kind of seal so I can have oxygen, it's going to make it so you always have to use the convert to ship button in the K menu. If I'm doing that, simply because, I tried to force dynamic grids and it's forcing a dynamic grid on too much. This whole top section of the elevator would get converted over to a dynamic grid. It wouldn't necessarily move because it's still locked in. But it did that and it was causing some issues, so that mod is not going to work with this in this situation. But like I said, I'd like to see if I couldn't get it to park itself once it gets up here to the top. Down at the bottom, that's still working just fine, so if you just, you release this, you get it going down, you can just leave it alone. When it gets down to the bottom, it'll stop and park itself. I don't have it using the merge blocks over here yet. I could do that pretty easy, though. But first, let's see if we can't get this figured out. I've got a few ideas. Let me get a menu up here. Let's grab some. Let's see, I've got something elsewhere, don't I? Here, let's just grab that. Don't think I'll need any of that, but I'm grabbing it anyways. But I think first I'm going to need to... Oh, let's get the right one here. I want those centered. Helps if I put them in the right spot. Okay. Then add some hinges. I think I got those in the same direction. I don't have... No, I didn't think I had that on. Just making sure. Go ahead, get these welded up. No, not the hinge part. Come on, game. This is mainly just to make sure I've got them in the right orientation. Yeah, that looks right. And from there, gonna add a pair of these. I might find that this ends up having more reach than I need, but I'd rather have too much than not enough. Then 8. Come on. Let me get this all welded up real quick. Okay, so we've got all of that. Let me... hold on. Now we need to turn these. And we're going to be adding more stuff. We'll need to weld those up simply so we can turn them. And I might have to unfold all this later just to get it to, so I can weld and add stuff to it. Come on. Now, let's see if it will let me do that. And yeah, let me just go ahead. In fact, let me do that. This will give me some room to work with. Did I grab him? Actually, I think I did grab him. And I should be able to... Nope. And I think I'm going to use a pair of these. Turn auto lock off on these. See if that'll work. Might have to move the carriage down. Yeah, that got it in place. Well, looks like that's so far working. Let me weld all this up and I'll be back. Well, I've got those welded up and I added a few other things here. I'm going to be able to communicate back and forth between these now. So, we've added a couple of antennas just to make sure we can do that. We've got sensors, we've got event controllers, we've got timers. There's even action relays, and I put action relays in each spot. I don't know if I'm going to need, I've got two down here. I don't know if I'm going to need both of them or not. But let's see if we can't figure out how we're going to do this. I mean, I've got ideas, but that's it, just ideas. See, show on HUD, info, sensor field range. First off, let's see. Back extent, we can do that. Front extent, this will go for now all the way up. I don't know if I'm going to need all of that. Bottom extent, right extent, I can bring this stuff in. Let's see, detect asteroid subgrids. I think I need stations. I'll go ahead and do that, but I don't think I need that. And let's see, whoops. My front extent, I probably need to go out to where, because it's going to be coming up. So it needs to be able to detect this right here. So that's going to be quite a ways forward. See, that'll be top. Let's see, we're 10. I'm going to need at least twice that. $20. That's 30. I think that needs a little further. There, that'll cover that whole block. And that, let's see, I need a timer here. Let's call this. I'm going to probably need to add some more timers, it looks like. It's not really going to be catching it, but that's what I'm going to call it for now. I'm going to do that. Then we're going to set up actions. I need to clean this up. Groups. No, we don't want that. We want... Where is it? Where's the control seat? Control seat. Handbrake on off. I wish there was just a handbrake on, instead of just a toggle like that. But handbrake on off. Groups, we want all wheels. And turn them off. And let's go ahead and reset speed limit. Oh, I guess those are all damaged still. I need to fix that. Or just take that out. And lift action relay 1. Let's send a signal. So when that sees the bottom of our base here, that should stop this thing and send a signal up here to this, which we will set up actions. Well, first we need a timer. So it's going to do that. So we're going to set up actions. Base catch. We're going to probably trigger now. No reason to wait in that case. And then here we need to It's not going to make a difference, but let's do that. I've already got some groups set up. We're simply going to reverse, 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 and reverse. And let's do that. And instead of that, we're going to have to do some timing to figure out how long I really want it, but let's go 5 seconds for now. Setup actions. We're going to reverse, reverse. So when that signal comes up, it should trigger that, which trigger those to reverse all those hinges, so those will extend down. And the idea is after those have extended all the way down, we'll extend these out. Yeah, this is going to be... I think I'm going to need more timers also out here. Catch event controller 1. We're going to... That's landing gear locked. Magnetic ready to lock.
Energy low.
Let's off that for now so we're not triggering stuff. Let me go grab some energies. So here we can set up actions. You know, we probably can get away without using a timer here. And we're going to need at least one timer because I want to do it in sequence where the pistons come up and then the hinges. So I can use this to start the pistons at least and then start a timer. So we can... Let's go ahead and call that retract. And that was 2. Retract. Wait a minute, I've already got that in here. We're going to reverse, 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 and reverse. And we're not going to trigger anything else. So, no, hold on. I need to do one more thing. See, that is that one. That's 1. This is 1. This needs to be 2. That is 3. It needs to be in 1. Oops. That we want to send a signal. And that one, let's see, my spare one's already on a different channel, but on this one we can have that. Set up actions. And we need to handbrake on off. I think that's all it's going to need. So it's simply going to do that. So that's going to send it down, send it up, and turn that handbrake back off. Once these are locked in, it's going to start trying to pull it up. Thinking. Let me move this down out of our way. Let's turn that off temporarily so we're not triggering anything. Let me 9, 8, retract, 6, move down, just to get that out of our way. This would be easier if I had gravity. Wow, that moved quite a bit. Trying to think where I'm at. I think I need to kind of test it. I think I can do a low speed test here. Which means I need to get back in there. So let's get that sensor again set up. Oops. Is that the one I want? No, that's not the one I want. That one can remain off. This one can turn on. Turn this on, but be ready with the brakes. So it didn't break. Hold on. We didn't start the timer. I forgot something important, didn't I? Let's reset. It kept going. Why'd it keep going? I bet you it's because I turned that. Or I turned on the wrong brake. I bet you turned on the wrong handbrake. Yeah, this one's off. Let me name this. But I'm trying to see here. Okay, my pistons didn't extend. Oof. That blew a hole in it. Yeah, that blew a hole in it. Let me get everything reset. See if I can't get some stuff figured out. Set up. And I'll be back. Well, I believe I've got everything figured out, or most of it figured out. Everything's not 100% set up yet. But it's set up enough that I'm going to try a full speed run and see if it can stop itself. It won't stop at the right distance. I'll need to reset that sensor distance. But I want to see if it'll at least stop and if the pistons and hinges all work out. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and give it a little power. Turn that off. Hands off of everything. Let's see what it does. So we stopped. And we don't have a good camera angle. Like I said, we're going to have to figure out our distance still. Because I don't think that's going to be enough to catch it. You know, to grab onto it. Not quite. So, let's get out here and see if we can't calculate how far that is. Does not look like that's too far off. Okay, those look to be about even with there. I'd say, what, 3 or 4 meters less? Oops. I don't have any steel. Oh, I can't grab any steel from here either because it's not connected. But this up here is. Okay, that's 2.5. Yeah, that's like 3 meters. And this does not have to be exact. Let's see, that's going to be. Chances are this thing's not going to stop in the same place every time anyways. So that should be 3.5 meters less. Let me reset everything up here. We'll be turning that off. Hold on, let me do it this way. Pistons, let's reverse those. Start that. Those hinges should reverse here in a little bit. There they go. And that looks like that's ready. See, I don't think I need that on anymore. Where is it? It's not there. That should be set up. What I'm doing here is I'm simply recycling my landing sequence down at the bottom. Well, once I'm there, I can just kind of reuse the same things. I believe that'll work. The only difference is I've got something telling it to unlock these, or I think I do. Hold on. Am I unlocking those? See, it starts this, locks those. That's just doing that. Let me go ahead and set these up to... Oh yeah. I don't have that set up because I'm not connected yet. But once I get this actually connected up to there, I can set that up to where it will unlock these. Even that'll be okay if it's down at the bottom and tells these to unlock. It won't hurt anything because, well, they won't be connected. And I don't know why. Maybe I need to put in a bug report. I don't know if it's part of the mods, but the holographic screens are putting a ghost image up there above it. If we stick our heads in here, we can see that The text is here, but the background is way up there for some reason. So we've got both of those are on. Need to think about a gravity generator somewhere. Just for this thing. Let's see, we can turn these on. Hold on. Make sure they haven't triggered. Yeah, they're not counting down. But see, I've got the text, but I don't have the haze that's normally back there because it's way up there. It doesn't always do that, but... Alrighty then, so we need to go back down and try this again. Make sure to get a good distance. So we can see they're extending out. This takes a bit of time, but I think safety-wise, this is probably the best way versus trying to set up a system. They'll stop, then restart the wheels and have them try to come up at a slower speed. I think this is better. Not enough. Top sensor. Let's lose 2 more meters. Believe it or not, I think I can now, since I've got that. Turning that off. Make sure those retract all the way before I go back down so I know I'm not starting in a bad spot or odd spot. What I thought was going to happen. Should have turned off that sensor. Turn that one off temporarily. And I should be able to come in here. And that's the thing with the system, is hopefully it's to a point where it doesn't matter where at in that piston stroke that it catches the carriage at, that it'll just reverse it and pull it back up from there. Or at least that's the hopes. Okay, we're going to try this again. You know, it helps if we turn the sensor back on. This is going to take a bit, and I'm just going to reload. I'll catch you on the other side of that. Okay, I'm back. I think I've got everything fully set now. I've got both sensors set up. I've got all the timers. I've got all the event controllers. So this should be a full speed, full run test of this system. So I've got it set up. I've got the override already turned up. So I just turn off the handbrake and it'll take care of itself, or should take care of itself. Let me get rid of that. Gave it a nice long run up. Make sure I've got all the speed it's going to get. I think it stopped too far down. We'll see. Nope, it caught it. Now it's pulling it back in. It might take a while here because it's relying on that timer with a set time. There it goes. Now those are folding in. And once that other sensor gets in range, it should turn on the merge blocks. Blam. And there we go. Okay, I thought I had it set up to turn those loose. But we turned those on, we're locked in. So that was a full stop, catch, and park. And it did that all by itself. Here, let me get into that. Let me go top sensor 2. Let's see where that was pointing to. Landing timer 3. So it's turning those on, lift, extend. Oh, that's right, I didn't set that up because I wasn't connected to the rest of the station. I can go in here now and hit that. Let's just pretend it did that and we unlock that. And just to make sure, let's see, that sets all that up, that gets that going. Number 2. Ooh. Problem is, I don't want this to catch the edge of that building down there. I think I know where I can put it. I can put it right here because this is based on altitude. So we're doing the stockpile off, and we can also let's turn that on. That other one's so skinny and narrow, I can just leave it on. It won't cause a problem. But that one, I'm worried about it triggering something if I don't turn it off. But now it'll turn on once it gets high enough past that. So I think that is it. We've got a space elevator that will park itself at both the top and the bottom. The only thing being is these merge blocks don't allow it to turn back into a dynamic grid. You have to go in and manually turn it into a ship before it'll move again after those lock in. And that's the only thing keeping this from being 100% automated, short of being just a button press and go on the way up. I need to set all that up on the way down. But I think I'm going to set up that stuff off camera. There'll be probably another video, maybe sooner than the normal schedule here. We'll see. But for now, with being able to get that to work and park itself, I'm going to call that a success for today. And I will see you next time.